So welcome guys, and welcome back to another BLT. And my God, what a wonderful, wonderful week we've had. Joining us today is a very, very, very special guest host, Mohsin Abbas. Mohsin, Assalamu alaikum,
Hi,
and
alaikum
welcome
salam.
to the show.
Being invited onto this show is a bit like a Qurbani ka Bakra, as we call it in Urdu. But it's a bit like a goat volunteering to go for
be
Qurbani.
slaughtered.
Yes, so I am at your service.
Well, hopefully we won't be too bad, you know. But obviously, Mohsin is on the show with us today because our dear friend Nazir has departed. Not in that way. Don't get the wrong idea.
Yet.
He's not departed, not yet anyway, you know. But he has, mashallah, he's actually gone to Hajj, you know. And Nazir has actually been kind enough, you know, throughout all his ibadah to send us some wonderful pictures of his Hajj as well, you know. How he managed to sneak a camera into, Medina and into the Haram, I'm still amazed. Obviously, Nazir being
Nazir,
and being such a good khoja.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got his tactics in that, you know. And mashallah, straight away we can see that all of these wonderful pictures then. Do you know what, guys? I'll be honest, yeah. I actually went to the airport on Saturday. My father-in-law was also going to Hajj, and I saw all these people there, you know, going to Hajj, and my heart was just like, you know what, I want to go. Do you know what I mean? I just really wish I could go, you know. It's such a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, I think the only controversial thing for me about Hajj now is that increasingly when you see the pictures, you know, I think some people might start getting confused whether they're going to a spiritual occasion or Las Vegas. Because to be honest with you, some of those really tall buildings, great guys, you built a building, but what's that clock tower about? There is no aesthetic value to it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it. And that's my grudge, I think, about the aesthetics of Hajj and the spiritual side.
I can imagine.
Slightly lost, maybe.
You see, I actually went to Hajj in 2008, yeah, a year after I got married with my beautiful wife. Baby, I love you. I promised you every show I'm going to tell you how much I love you. You're my life, you're my world. Thank you.
Okay, moving
Job
on.
done. Moving on, right? No, I had to promise her because you know what, yeah? Obviously, being the good husband that I am, I have to try and, you know, do what I can.
He won't get fed tonight if he doesn't do that.
Exactly.
I think he's quite a good husband, judging by.
Oh, I am a good
by-
husband. There's nothing to think about, you know.
Judging by,
Come on, you know. But I remember when we went in 2008, yeah, my patience was really tested. I mean, so I'm going around doing the tawaf, okay, and out of nowhere, I get this lady biting my arm to get past. And, you know, you can't lose your temper in that state, you know. I'm like, Inna Lama Sabrin, come on, God, give me patience.
I mean,
give
do
me
you blame him?
patience.
Do you blame him? I mean, you look like a giant doner kebab, so.
I know I look juicy and tasty, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm sweet as pie. But that's a total different thing, you know. You know what we need? We need that special effect of the teeth going ding, ding.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously that's a different story entirely.
You were on the menu, obviously. I
Pretty
don't know. Were you
much.
dessert or were you kind of main course, or
I've
did
always
she
seen-
clarify whether you were tasty or? I
Well,
don't know.
I've always seen myself, yeah, as a bit of a dish. So maybe the sweet dish, you know. Who knows about that? But I'll leave that to the audience to decide, you know. Guys, if you do have an opinion on this, whether I'm a main course or a dish, or an opinion on anything, you know.
Or
please
leftovers.
For leftovers, yeah. Please do give us a call. The number is 0203 515 1234, you know. And what a show we have today. My God, I know that just before the show we were sitting down and having a chat about what we're going to be showing, and obviously we've got a challenge that's coming on today, which we'll reveal later on in the show. And I got to say, Mohsin, your face at the challenge, like, huh? You know, the shock, horror, you know.
Yes, I won't spill the beans. Let's wait for everybody
Well,
to.
beans will be spilt.
They will pretty much, but a different kind.
Different kind of beans, yeah. Let's leave it at that, guys, for now.
Excellent, excellent. So how's your week been so far, guys? Anything interesting?
Well, it's been riveting, really. You know, it's been the tip for me. If you're asking me,
Yeah.
well, my week is usually pretty crazy. I end up. I'm basically Mr. Protest London. Right now. You know, I
Okay.
get called out to every. I know in London every protest group there is, virtually from climate changers through to people who want to battle for pink leotards and daffodils, and basically my job
Pink
entails.
leotards and daffodils. Is that actual campaign?
Well, there is a campaign. There are campaigners
Oh
who
my
are out there
goodness.
who really. I mean, there are some desperate people out there. They are desperately short of fashion ideas for a start when they go when they get to pink leotards and daffodils.
So if I wanted to start a campaign for husbands against housework, how would I go about it?
Well, husbands against housework. That's a novel one. I'd have to get you in touch. There are a few agencies that specialize in this.
Really?
Yeah, there
Oh,
are.
wow.
There are people out there. You'll be surprised. London has got a lot of frustrated people who are angry about a lot of things.
Right.
And they do like to protest. They like to protest about anything. They like to queue as well. Londoners have this fetish for queuing.
Exactly. I've never understood
it's a British
that.
thing.
You see, I'm originally from Milton Keynes, moved down to London. Yeah, I hate queuing. In Milton Keynes it was nice and easy. You know what I mean? We had a bit of queues, but not that much. But here, people don't mind. They just sit in there nice and easy.
I think because in London we're more civilized than you guys in Milton Keynes, so we
Oh,
don't
I
mind
don't know
queuing
about
up.
that.
I mean,
I don't know about that. That's why you've never been invited to Milton Keynes. They just kick you back from the city limits.
I
you
don't
know?
want to go.
I think you should open up a little slot for the story of queuers. The wonderful things that people see while they're queuing, how they pass their time in queues.
That's not a bad idea. Guys, here it is, yeah, to all the viewers out there, yeah. Take a selfie of yourself in a queue and either put it on Twitter by using the hashtag BLT Live, Facebook it to us, email it to us, and you know what? If we get some good ones, yeah, some good selfies of you queuing in some wonderful queues, we will put them on. Remember
This,
that.
of course, is complete contradiction in terms for Muslims, because if you've ever been to any of the Islamic centers when they turn up to majalis,
Yeah.
and actually they've turned up for the food, and there is no such thing as queuing. If you've ever been to places like the Islamic center, and the actual ritual that takes place at the end is
Crowd
probably,
surfing.
Yeah, I think that seriously, guys, you need training. There is a way of queuing that we do not know. The English can teach us a lot about queuing.
But I'm sure it's an Asian thing. I think it's haram for us to queue, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think that's
It goes against our law, doesn't it?
exactly being an Asian.
Wait,
we're not allowed
and
to
waiting,
queue.
like
No, but the ladies, I think the ladies are so sick of cooking, I reckon they actually turn up to these majalis because they want to grab that food so they don't have to cook and clean. It really
grab
is.
extras for
they grab
tomorrow's lunch
extras.
and
It's like,
dinner.
yeah, absolutely.
who's that for? It's for my baby. He didn't eat.
And his baby's like 16 years old. You know?
Exactly. He's still my baby.
Excellent. Well, and with that, guys, I think it's actually time for the weird news. Today we've actually got a bit of a larger segment on the weird news because we've had a very busy week. We found some very interesting news. And Raza, I mean, what did you come across this week?
I actually came across a few stories, but I think a couple that caught my eye was that basically in China, one city has now split a pavement into two different lanes. So in one lane, only people who text on the phone are allowed to walk in, and other lane, people who don't text on the phone or don't use the phone are allowed to walk in.
No way.
So, I mean, there's a picture on the screen right now somewhere. There, exactly. I can see on the left, the couple obviously are on the phone, and then on the right, there's no one walking in that lane.
So explain one thing to me. You're walking, yeah, where the couple are walking, right?
Right.
Okay, and there's somebody coming from the opposite side. Clearly, yeah, that's a head-on collision because you're both on the phone, not looking. And
Well, I mean, that's the Chinese for you, isn't it? I mean, they think of everything, so I'm sure they've thought some sort of technique or way to obviously avoid that collision.
maybe there's an app that they've developed, you know,
An
a
app,
collision
yes.
app.
A
you know?
red light must come up on your screen, letting you know when you're
And
close.
what happens, okay, say for example you're texting and all of a sudden you go into the other side with the non-texting zone. Do like the sirens go off and
Probably a
the police
fine.
come and
3
you get
points and a
fined.
fine.
3 points and a fine. You know, he's suspended from walking for 3 months. Take walking lessons.
It could actually just be very simple, guys. The Chinese have evolved a third eye. They've obviously evolved a third eye that we didn't know about.
And they must hate queuing as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously you must stand behind a person who's texting and slowing down the line.
Do you think that there's a queue for non-queuers in China?
I can't even comprehend that, so I'm not going to try to answer it. Well,
It's a little bit too much for you, but anyway.
999,
Moving
choose
on.
why.
My weird news today is about a guy named, and excuse my pronunciation, but it's about a guy named Ralph Buchholz. Okay, Ralph Buchholz.
Where's he from?
He's originally from Germany, right? Okay. You're trying to test me on that, I know.
No, I knew
Now,
German,
this
I
is
knew
a
it.
guy here.
Are
my
you
God.
sure you pronounced that correctly?
I think so.
Bullshouse.
We're still not past that watershed yet. This is a guy here. This is our dear friend Ralph. Okay.
Oh
now Ralph,
dear.
believe it or not, is actually an IT consultant back in Germany.
Wow.
Now, looking at him, you would never think he's an IT consultant. Do you know what I mean? So Ralph decided, you know, to take part in a circus event, a show in Dubai. And what happened is he got into customs, okay, and he got deported. He wasn't even allowed through customs. Do you know why? Give you a wild guess.
Maybe because his face you can't recognize it. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's,
How can you not
Did it
recognize
match
his
a passport
piercing?
that's a
picture?
tough one.
That is a
one.
tough
Yeah,
one.
I mean,
Yeah.
Basically, the immigration authorities thought he was a practitioner of black magic. Yes, you heard me. Practitioner of black magic with so many piercings. I mean,
does he need a
and
degree or something for that? Practitioner of black magic.
He just looks like a sadomasochist to me.
he pretty much does. But do you know something? He holds Guinness Book of World Records for having the most piercings in the world. There's 453, majority of which are on his face, and the rest of which are basically where the sun don't shine.
How
Do you
does
know
he
what
eat? I mean, I don't understand how he can eat comfortably.
I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I think it would be good to sort of get him in the show. Maybe we can ask our researchers, try and get contact with him.
I was just
and put him
thinking,
on.
there was a girl this week who was banned from wearing, she wanted to wear the niqab in Camden School.
Right.
And she wasn't allowed to. I wonder if he went back to school. Would they let him into Camden Girls' School?
That's actually a very good question.
Not to the girls' school for sure. No.
Not to the girls' school.
I think the police would be called for that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's an interesting, maybe he's making an effort to have a kind of an alternative niqab there, perhaps.
Potentially. I mean,
Maybe he's-
technically, this is kind of a niqab. I mean, if we show that picture again,
He's kind
we can actually see in the picture, right? Okay, that most of his face is covered. So technically, in the realms of Islam, would that be considered hijab
No,
of some
100%
description?
not.
How?
That's demotivating the whole concept of niqab. Guys,
Yeah, it's definitely
he's
not a
ba-
modesty thing.
He's like what? He's I don't know, pimped up his face. What are you talking about on niqab?
Can you imagine if he goes through the airport machine, you know, the metal detector?
keep
He must
beeping, yeah.
set it off, you know. What if we were to get a really large, high-powered magnet and turn it on? Do you think his face would go zoom, straight into the magnet?
I wouldn't
so-
bet against it.
If you went through any of those security, sir, could you take off all the metal on your
On your
body?
person.
I mean, that's going to take a few hours or two.
Can you
The
imagine?
queue again, back
Yeah.
to the queue. They'd probably love it. The guys behind waiting
Oh
for
no,
him
but
to.
if they're British, they'll be fine because they'll
Yeah.
be loving it, you know, enjoying
They'd love it. If it was a Pakistani or an Arab gentleman, I'm sure that he'd
They
be
would be
clambering
Exactly.
over him.
Excellent, excellent. What else do you have for us?
The second, this is probably something I found quite fun actually. So this one person, for example, he went on a website called Kickstarter,
What's that?
and some website where you crowdfund. So
Okay.
for a joke, he went on the website and he said basically, I need $10 to make a potato salad. As a joke, $10. And I think within 6 days, somehow he had a crazy boom and a crazy response, and he managed to generate $55,000. As
You're
a
joking.
joke, he went on to get $10 and he managed to generate $55,000. And with that money, he's actually throwing a party. So that's
Can we
quite good of
go?
him.
Where is the party?
It's somewhere in Ontario or USA
A
or
potato
Oh my
salad party.
Canada, somewhere
goodness.
there.
That is absolutely
So a
redonkulous.
potato salad, he raised $55,000 by asking for £10.
Was that the potato salad?
That was not the potato salad.
It looks disgusting.
But imagine £55,000 it was served to you in a gold plate with a gold spoon and gold.
It actually, if it was,
macaroni.
it actually
Absolutely.
looks like something he ate and then put back in the plate. It's
Recycle.
really not something he cooked. That's regurgitated potato salad. I'm sure of it. I'm convinced that is not a potato
Listen,
salad.
at least this way he'll be, you know, good for the environment. At least he believes in recycling,
Yeah.
right? Do you know what I
Guys,
mean?
anybody who's an expert on potato salads, could you call in and identify? Perhaps send us an example of a real potato salad.
Absolutely. And Mum, if you're watching, yeah, I know you're an expert cook, yeah, so please, Mum, Roshan Jawad, please give us a call and tell us exactly how to make a potato salad, but no embarrassing stories, please, okay? Now, I know she probably will call in now saying, Beta, do I have some stories for you? Oh my goodness me. You know, that's a different story entirely. Now, for my second story, okay, this is absolutely fantastic. Now, we're going to see a picture, okay, of a beautiful family right now, okay? We can see that, you know, a wonderful wife, a wonderful husband, mashallah, 3, what I would consider beautiful kids. But the husband actually sued his wife for giving birth to an ugly child.
3.
Yes, 3 ugly children. But more specifically, he sued his wife for giving birth to the youngest child, which according to him is the ugliest child. And this, I mean, like, come on, how can one's child be ugly, okay? So he took it to court, you know, said to the judge, you know what, my wife is giving birth to an ugly child, and apparently he won. Can you believe this? He actually won the law case, okay?
Wait, so he sued her, but he didn't think that it was from him.
But this is the reason why, okay,
Come
he
on,
actually
bro.
won. Apparently, okay, we're going to see this other picture. Apparently, his wife was ugly before he married her. She spent $100,000 okay, in getting plastic surgery to look beautiful. And here we can see a picture. Left is what she was, and right is what she is now.
Let's
Therefore,
let's not say ugly, because obviously
everyone in the eyes of Allah is beautiful.
yes, exactly.
you know,
that's just how she looked, and she preferred to, I don't know, just
look the way she
change
does in
her
the right. Do
facial
you know what I mean?
appearance.
I mean, what is the world coming to? Okay, that's basically. Her husband, he was so upset the fact that his wife didn't say that. Listen,
You see,
we have plastic
this is
surgery.
all about the me culture that's emerged. There is a self-obsession that social media and various other we are self-obsessed. We are a generation that has become self-obsessed with physical beauty, physical attributes, and physical things. And I think that this is a kind of an extreme example.
It is. But let's be honest, okay? So, granted, okay, the me culture, being obsessed with one's looks and materialistic things. This guy would have still married his wife on the looks, yeah? Okay? Looks are a very important part of attraction in marriage, okay? But the reason he
what's
stayed
your
with
ratio?
the
Look to
reason,
personality.
the reason, yeah, that he stayed with her, okay, is because of her personality. He had 3 kids with her. So there must have been some kind of love there.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, his
walk off.
perception of beauty, the question really is, what is your perception of beauty? Now, if in this society we go around from the age of dot, we've got Hollywood and Bollywood as our main trajectory of what beauty is, which is dictated again by
Lollywood.
Lollywood, yeah, of course, Lollywood is number one. But if we're going to be in a society where people are dictating what beauty is and they're reinforcing that, i.e. beauty is a certain kind of, maybe a Roman look or a particular kind of look, and there is a specific look.
Yeah.
Actually, the real problem lies in the advertising and the way that we're being brainwashed about what stereotypical archetypal beauty is. So it's becoming narrow. What perhaps within the human perception, what beauty is actually becoming manufactured.
So what do you consider beauty to be?
I think that, no matter how good looking somebody is on the exterior, the truth is 5 days later or 4 weeks later, is it really that face that you're going to be marrying?
No, it's this inside here.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. And
Excellent.
if the rest of it doesn't connect, doesn't matter how your perception of beauty is, it won't last.
Do you know, I'm actually glad that we're sort of closing this segment on beauty and love, because the next segment, okay, is all about the football. So let's take it to the football news.
The beautiful game.
So, continuing from beauty and love about football, a little birdie tells Raza and I that you support a very, how would I term it, a unique team?
A team that is, I don't know, falling apart. It's no longer a team. It's a
kitchery, isn't it?
Guys, look, let me put you out of your misery. Look,
it's a nursery. It's a nursery.
I support Manchester United.
Manchester deflated.
Manchester United, and I've supported. Let me tell you the story of how I supported. I started, and obviously people say glory boys who follow United. Firstly,
100%.
I changed sides when as an Asian, as a Pakistani coming to Britain. I was entitled to pick the team that I supported because I wasn't born in Watford, where I originate from or lived. So I had to select a team. We selected Leeds United.
Okay.
At the age of 6, I was a Leeds United supporter.
This is helping your cause, by the way.
And when I switched, United went down to the 2nd division. We never won anything for 25 years. Never won the Premiership.
Sure.
So we stuck it out thick and thin. And we saw those days when United did eventually take over the Premier League, and literally, guys, let's face it, we have monopolised and we own the Premiership. But it was getting so boring for us. Mm-hmm. We just thought last year, guys, you know what? They're really everybody's going to leave this league. If we don't let them win, and let somebody else have a chance.
I love this
It's
spin.
just this is a thought out strategy. Otherwise, the Premiership will be obsolete with United winning it every year. They're getting so bored.
Wow.
It would make all the other teams redundant. So we've decided to take a 2 to 3 year sabbatical.
All right.
A sabbatical.
We decided
Gap years.
not to buy any defenders because nobody was scoring against us. So we thought, how about we don't buy any defenders? We have no defence. And let's see what they can do. Maybe they can beat us.
Okay, well, you know what?
Let's go out and get beat 4-0 by MK Dons. Let's for banter. lose against Leicester 5-3
5-3.
because we enjoy that.
Exactly.
I think
I
United
think-
enjoy losing.
I think with the last 3 minutes, yeah, okay, I'm going to say you put a fantastic spin on it, yeah. And if your day job doesn't work, you can always become a lawyer. Do you know what I mean? Which I
or
think would
United,
work.
coach or defender, really.
Yeah, why don't you work for
Look,
United?
look.
But you know,
Never
we-
United.
Can I
You
put a
use
spiritual
anyone.
spin on this? The boys decided also that they wanted to go through like a humility exercise. They're going a little bit. They've all become Buddhists lately. You see, they just thought that
can't run as fast
well,
no more, that's why.
And meditating on the
Rooney
field.
especially, he was
Oh, right,
deciding
yeah,
to order. He was wanting to join the sort of the Buddhist order, and he said, "Look, guys, if we lose a lot every game this year, we could learn what humility is." They were just getting a bit arrogant. That's all.
Manchester United Football
enough.
Club. If you ever need a new manager, we have one here, Mohsen Abbas. You know, he comes with the highest recommendation.
Right now, they need defenders, not managers. So if you need a defender, just a lamppost to stand there, give us a call. We've got a few players.
Moving on very swiftly, okay,
Office.
Raza, do you want to cover the scores over the weekend?
Yes,
that we
so
had?
obviously this week, the the League Cup kicked
League
off, sponsored by Capital One. Obviously, we saw Arsenal go out 2-1 to Southampton. I was quite upset, but Sanchez's goal, that was
amazing.
something. Then Clyde's goal, I think his name's Clyde. After that, Liverpool drew 1-1 with the Middlesbrough. They won 14-13 on penalties. It was a great
Redonkulous.
penalty shootout. Chelsea went through 2-1 against, they beat Bolton Wanderers. Didn't expect them to lose anyway.
Of course.
And Man City, they just
Sorry,
went
let me
crazy,
say this.
7-0
7-0.
against Sheffield United.
And just for the Chelsea fans, Lampard scored twice. That's right, Frank Lampard, the Chelsea legend, who is going to be a Man City player, so I love it. Sorry, let's continue.
He's going to USA in a couple of months' time, so don't get too excited.
No, he's
Calm
not. He's
down.
going to stay.
And just to say, guys, we decided to get knocked out in the first round because it's a Mickey Mouse tournament.
Oh yeah.
We just thought it's just not worth it.
They thought, let's just let MK the Ninos come and run us over.
And why not, man? Bismillah, charity match. Do you know what I mean? But I've got to say that is absolutely, you know what, this League Cup's going to be interesting, you know. I mean, I'm confident that City, I think we're going to do pretty well in it. I think, you know, we've got a point to prove. I was a bit disappointed about the Arsenal score. But saying that, okay, I think we're going to be going for a break now, okay. Guys, do stay with us, okay, for after the break, because we're going to have Mohsen, we're going to talk to him a little bit more about what he does, who he is, and then obviously later on in the show, we've got a fantastic, spectacular challenge, which is going to change the way that you view food and everything around you. It will blow your mind. Not only to say, mention Raza's mind as well, you know. Auntie, uncle, you know, if you're watching, please, whatever happens to Raza on the show, he signed a waiver. We are not liable for what happens to him, you know. Allah will protect him, inshallah. Do you know what I mean? And with that, guys, we're going to go to a break, and we'll see you after the break very, very shortly.